Good morning everybody, and welcome back to another episode of my 1GP2 max set in pay-to-play flipping series. This is by far the most challenging flipping series I have ever done, and I was absolutely floored by all of the support on episode number 1. We garnered nearly 10,000 likes in just under a week. So thank you guys all so much for that. This series is very simple. We're going to start with only 1 GP in the Grand Exchange. We're going to use it to flip items back and forth, making money along the way, until we can afford the most expensive gear in every item slot in pay-to-play. This is no small task, as that will cost us probably somewhere between 8 and 10 bill, as there are very rare and expensive items in pay-to-play, like Third Age Druidic for example. As always guys, if you are enjoying the series, don't forget to leave the video a like, always appreciate it. For every 10 likes we get in the video, we're going to be buying an Onyx Dragon Bolt E, so if you want to bring down a little more additional pain, liking the video is a good way to interact. Anyway guys, let's get started. Now, as of today, we started this challenge around a week ago, and we are already up to around 4 mil, starting from only 1 GP, which is pretty good. We managed to shoot through the early levels actually fairly quickly, and that was largely in part to just a couple of different items, mainly the Restore Potion, the King Worm, and a few other staple items. However, now that we have a bit more money to work with, we're going to move on to bigger and better things and a few different items. Now, one thing I noticed recently is Ultra Compost actually has a very good margin on it. Right now, actually around 200 GP per Ultra Compost, which is absolutely massive. The buying limit is 2,000, which means we can get a really good return on this, and hopefully very quick as well. Now, something I really enjoy about flipping at a lower cash stack is the items have very little competition. All of the casual and professional flippers flip with way more money usually than 3 or 4 mil, so in the beginning you can often find some really good deals. Now, another really interesting item we're going to try here is actually the Clue Box, and right now it actually has a margin of 30k on it. So that is pretty damn awesome. We're going to actually invest the rest of our money into Clue Boxes and call that for today. Wow, that was actually such a big return on investment. We only invested 1.5 mil, and we ended up getting nearly 2 mil in return for a profit of 425k. That is an amazing flip. We're definitely going to try to do it again, as it's already been, I think, more than 4 hours. Okay, there's still a really good margin here of around 200 GP almost again. So we're going to put another buy offer in for 2,000 of them, and they actually already filled just as I was talking here. Okay, well I will definitely just take another 425k in profit just like that. Probably the easiest money I've made so far. Now I did end up buying I think around 10 clue boxes, and we are still hoping to get around 30k in profit on each one. Which if we are successful, that is another 300k in profit on the clue box. So I am very optimistic about this, and let's see what the day brings. Well, just like that, and we have another 424k in profit on the Ultra Compost. That is truly amazing. We definitely caught this at a very good time. The only restricting factor here is of course the buy-in limit. We can only buy around 2,000 every 4 hours, which will restrict us eventually, but for the amount of money we have right now, getting 800k in profit in a day is massive. Now, while the Ultra Compost is good, we did hit the limit already, so we're going to try another item here, and that is the Watchtower Teleport. Once again, I was just searching around on GE Tracker on some of the cheaper items, and I noticed that the Watchtower Teleport fluctuates in price quite a bit, usually from somewhere around 700 GP all the way up to 1,000, pretty routinely within 24 hours. So we price checked it for around 600 GP, so I think this is actually a really good potential investment that not only could get me a good margin now, but if we are patient, maybe it will go back up to 1,000 and we'll just make a ton of money on it. So we're going to invest pretty much all of our money into Watchtower Teleports. I'm pretty optimistic about it. Let's see if it pays off. Alright, so after a few days of waiting, pretty much all of our offers have sold off, and we got some really profitable ones here, mainly of course the Watchtower Teleport, which after averaging all our buy and sell offers, we ended up profiting around 465k on, which is pretty good for a in-market teleport item. We also finally managed to sell off all of the clue boxes. Those were definitely giving us a bit of a hassle, but overall on all of them, we ended up making around 275k in profit, along with another 100k on the watermelons. So we've been doing pretty well for ourselves, and after claiming everything, we are actually up to 5.6 mil And this is really where things start to get exciting. We have so many more options now. Around the 5 mil to 10 mil mark is when you can really start affording the entire buy-in limit of certain high volume items, cheaper rare items, and at this point there's just a lot of opportunity and really good items with amazing return on investments and good margins. For example, right here we have the climbing boot with a 300 GP margin. Of course, majorly restricted by the buy-in limit, but you know what, I will still take that. We'll try to buy 400 of them. Okay, another really interesting item here, we actually have the Talk X Act, which is an obsidian item. We're actually gonna go ahead and buy 15 of them for around 275k each. And as I was saying, we can't afford some of the cheaper rare items, so we're actually gonna try flipping the wizard boots, and we can already afford 7 of them. And that is gonna be it for now. Now today is a very special day. If you don't know, this is actually the end of the new Trailblazer League, which means today there are a ton of new items that just hit the Grand Exchange. Now whenever a league ends, everyone gets access to the League Rewards Shop, which has a ton of different people buying the rewards and dumping them into the Grand Exchange all at once. It's a really crazy day and probably a really crazy week. However, this will probably be the best opportunity I've had yet to make a ton of money. Whenever new items come into the game, the margins are huge and there is a ton of profit to be made. Now, luckily for me, there are just so many people that actually played Trailblazer that the items are very cheap. I only started with around 6 or 7 mil, yet I was able to flip them fairly effectively. Now, right off the bat, I was able to buy a diverse amount of Trailblazer League items. So this is undoubtedly going to be extremely hectic. However, I'm always going to be prioritizing making the most money possible over absolute clarity, but we're going to try to do our best here. Oh yeah, there is some serious potential here, guys. These items are flipping incredibly quickly and for huge margins, way bigger than any other item at that price point would normally have. For example, we just made 420k in profit on 5 of the Twisted Canes and we flipped those probably in just a few minutes. Another good example, we just got another 220k on the Trailblazer Trouser 1, which in combination with a few other things has already brought us up to 6.7 mil. There's an absolute massive amount of potential profit here, and I really want to try to hammer down as many Trailblazer flips in the next couple of days as humanly possible. God, things are going so quickly, it's kind of hard to keep track of everything. I'm going to try to do my best here though. First up here, we have some of the tier 1 trousers going for around a 525k profit, just like that. We also have another set of 5 of them already. The margins here are actually crazy. We're actually getting like a 4 times return on investment on that. I've never seen something like that before. Now we're also doing quite well on the tier 2 hood as well. We just got another 675k in profit on that, and the margin is just massive. It's like I'm getting about a 200k margin on something that only costs 200k, so we're like doubling our money on pretty much every tier 2 hood we buy. And honestly, these are just the transactions that I remembered to record. There are a lot of other ones just kind of going on in the background, but right now our GE offers are worth around 5 mil and we have around 6 mil in our inventory, which means, well, just like that, we're already up to 11 mil, which is pretty crazy because just this morning I only had around 7 mil. So we pretty much doubled our cash stack in just a single day. Well guys, we really hit the jackpot now. This next flip I'm going to show you really highlights just how successful I've been flipping the new Trailblazer items. Look at this flip on the tier 2 hood. We managed to do 10 of them directly. We bought them for 260k each and sold them for 480, nearly doubling our money. Just like that, we made 2.2 mil in profit on a single flip, and we are doing dozens of those. Granted, not all of them are as profitable, but that one's just the easiest to look at. On the majority of the items we buy, we are doubling our money on it. Things are just so crazy, prices are fluctuating incredibly quickly, and while we are not making money on everything, on the majority of stuff we are making absolute bank. Now today is January 7th, so this is the day after the release, and things have quieted down a little bit, but still things are just fluctuating so much, it's really hard to get consistent, easy to visualize flips. But in the corner is just a good representation of how things are going. We're buying something for 275k, we're selling it for like 400k or more, which is an absolutely crazy return on investment. So right now we have around 13 mil in the Grand Exchange plus around 3 mil in our inventory, which means we're roughly around 15 mil right now, which is kind of crazy to me because just a few days ago we had 3 times less money. So anyway, I think you guys get the gist of why I am flipping these items, and there's nothing really left to do except for, well, hammer them into the ground and make as much money as possible. Well guys, we are now about 3 days after the release. Today is January 9th, and things are starting to slow down, but we still have a ton of amazing offers coming through here. We straight up just flipped the tier 2 armor set for 700k in profit, just like that. And another amazing flip, we bought the Trailblazer Boots for 66k and sold them for 170k. That's crazy when we did 15 of them. Which means that's 1.5 mil in profit, over doubling our initial investment. I don't think we're ever going to see margins like this again for a long while. Everything else was minor in comparison, but we ended up getting about 400k on the Trailblazer hoods and a few other items, bringing us up to 25.4 mil. The Trailblazer release was completely awesome for us and really just catapulted us out of the early game. We now have, 25 mil to work with. That's a lot of money. We can start doing flips that I really didn't expect possible for another month almost. Like for example, right now we're actually going to kind of steal something from my free-to-play flipping series, and that's going to be created gilded d'hide sets. It's very easy. All you have to do is buy the individual pieces, combine them into a set at the Grand Exchange, and just take a profit. And the fact that I am already doing this less than 2 weeks into my challenge is very encouraging for the future of this series. So let's see if we can keep this up. Now, just in case you guys were curious how this works, what we're going to be doing quite often in this flipping series is doing item set combinations. Now, item sets are kind of a quality of life convenience that people will buy right from the Grand Exchange instead of having to buy all of the individual pieces. So often there is actually a margin between buying the individual pieces and then combining them together. For rare expensive sets, the margin can be quite big actually. Right now we're actually going to be shooting for around a 1 mil margin on the Gilded Dragonite set, which is pretty damn amazing. Hopefully we can get it. Not bad, there we go. We actually ended up selling a Gilded Dragonite set for 22.9 mil, which once we've subtracted all of the individual pieces is worth around 1.2 mil in profit. Also considering that that is a free-to-play item, not that bad. So we're gonna jump back in here with the exact same prices, the exact same flip, because that actually didn't take that long and we netted a 1.2 mil profit. I will always be taking that, obviously. Now, I haven't fully given up on the Trailblazer items, however, the volume has slowed down a lot, so I'm not really sure how much longer these are going to be viable for, but we definitely want to get every last drip of profit that we can out of them. So there is another sale on the Gilded Dragonite set coming in, I think, at around a mil in profit. We've done 2 of them so far in about 2 days, so it is definitely pretty damn slow, but you know what, it is very easy and it doesn't look like there's almost any competition, so I will definitely always take that. So we're gonna go back for one more set combination, and I think if that's successful, that should bring us actually pretty damn close to 30 mil. I've had this like Godzilla-esque soundtrack that I've wanted to use for a while, and here seemed appropriate. Well, maybe it wasn't, but I wanted to use it anyway. Anyway guys, that is probably where I'm going to end the episode for this week. We started with around 3.8 mil and we ended with 30 mil, which means we were getting pretty damn close to multiplying our profit by 10. New updates and events really can net you a lot of profit, but obviously I do think we took advantage as best we can, and we are truly out of the early game now. Anyway guys, thanks for watching as always. If you did enjoy episode number 2, always appreciate it if you leave a like on the video. Always helps out with the YouTube algorithm, and of course, I will have to buy more of those Onyx Dragon Bolt E's. Thanks for watching guys, and I will see you in the next episode. Now, before I go here, I'm going to give a massive thank you to all of my members over on YouTube. A huge thank you to Brian Robinson, Cappy, Sage's Reign, Colin Corley, Timothy Chen, Guy Fox, Valhalla Lad, Ocelot, and Kush Patel for all subscribing at the Dragon tier. Thank you guys so much as always. And also a huge thank you to Branton Griffin, All Things Gaming, Birdbot, and Base Titch for being subscribed at the Runite tier. As always, if you guys are looking for another way to support the channel, becoming a YouTube member is an awesome way to do so. You can become immortalized in all of my future videos, get access to my video release schedule, and of course get a custom role in my Discord server. Thanks again guys, and I'll see you next time.